items I think are the scarcest in uncirculated condition. I would have said the two varieties of the Burgess pawn, the double 9 issue. That would be my three top guesses. I would have been wrong on all three accounts. These three coins are more than 3 times more common than the 1893 shilling in mint state condition, of which there are only 4 coins graded as such. A second example would be, say, the 95 tiki compared to a veldpond. I would not expect to find that the tiki in MS, that tiki, is 5 times scarcer than the veldpond in similar conditions. Then, who would have guessed that the fine beer Burgess pawn is more common in MS than the pond of 93, 95, and 96? Or that... Can you still hear me?
Yes, it's fine, Pierre, go ahead. Okay.
Or that these three ponder, like the 93, 95, and 96, are 20 times scarcer than the 98 date. But some catalogs up to this day, they still maintain that the 98 date is scarcer and more valuable than these dates. It's impossible. Why? I can't understand. Okay. What I want to do next is I want to discuss the different denominations, and Anthony was planning to put up some schedules. I think we can't do it, but it's not a train smash. I will try my best to explain them to you. So I will discuss the penny a little bit in more detail, but then the other denominations, I will just quickly run through them.
Yes. Yes, sorry,
yes.
I'm back. So there's your first schedule. Sorry.
That's fine. That's fine, Anthony. I'm well. Okay. Like I said, I will discuss the penny in a little bit more detail to show and explain how I did the calculations. Then I will look at the other denominations. Now, for each denomination, the penny, the tiki, the sixpence, the shilling, 2 shilling, half crown, half pond, and pond, I have 3 addendum pages in the book. And these, for the penny as an example, are on pages 34, 35, and 36. Now, I'm not sure if Anthony can show that.
Yes, I'm going to put it up now.
Okay.
It's 34. Give me a minute. Okay, that's your first page, 34.
Okay, that's page 34. Now, on that page, I don't think you can see in detail what's going on there, but on that page, I show the number graded for each year in the following categories. The number graded in AU, in lower than AU, in AU, and then MS 60 to 62, and then 63 to 64, and then better than 64. And the percentages that these figures constitute when compared to each other. For example, there are only one single 93 penny graded in higher than MS64 condition. And this constitutes only 0.37% of all pennies graded. From this one can deduce as an example that the 93 penny in superior MA condition is exceedingly rare. This page also shows the percentage of mintage for each year compared to other years. We're talking about the penny year. Now, for example, and I will just round off the figures. The number graded for the 92 penny is 28%. The 93 penny, 5%. 94 penny, 12%. 98 penny, 54%. Now, even a novice will be able to deduce from this information how scarce a certain year is when compared to another year's for graded coins. Okay? Now, page 35, Anthony.
Can you see it?
Yeah, okay. Right, I think that's the next page, but it's not that important. Okay, on page 35, it shows the number of coins minted versus the number of coins graded. Now, this is interesting. For example, the 94 penny shows 10,765 coins were minted. And this constitutes only 3% of the total number of pennies minted. but the number graded for that year shows 4 times more than like 12%. So they minted apparently 3%, but why is 12% graded? That again shows me there's something wrong with the mintage figures. I think most of you will remember that in the previous talk with Professor Milan, he touched on the problematic mintage figures of some ZAR coins. So I will not discuss it further here. But I can see from my stats that there is definitely some question marks on the mintage figures. Now, this page also shows the number graded for each year in MS and the percentage that constitutes of the total number graded for that year. For example, nearly 60% of all pennies that were graded, 92 pennies, graded in MS. Nearly 60% of all pennies sent for grading, for 92, they grade MS. And then if I look at all the pennies, nearly 70% graded MS. Now, page 36, that's the page you showed previously, Anthony. Okay, on page 36, you will see there are 6 columns. The first shows you the number minted, and the scarcity then as follows, scarcest being 94, followed by 93, 92, and obviously 98. But when you look at the number graded, it's not the same, because then you will see 93 first, followed by 94, and then 92 and 98. And then the number graded in MS, and then the highest catalog value in XF, and then the highest catalog value in MS, and then the actual sales in MS63. Now, in terms of the highest catalog, I took 10 catalogs from, I don't know if you can see this catalog here. This was Alec Kaplan's first issue in 1950 with the original dust jacket. And I took 10 catalogs and I compared, the catalog prices over the years between these catalogs. And then for the actual sales, I kept record for 2 years, or a period over 2 years of sales on bid or buy for coins, for Kruger coins. And then for instance, for the pennies, the highest that all of them sold for was MS63. So I took that as a base. Now, here follows a short summary and some interesting observations regarding the other denominations. We'll quickly go through this. I don't know, Anthony, if you can show page 39.
39, give me a minute. Is that page 39?
Yeah, I think that's the correct one. Okay, I will just keep continuing. So you'll see the categories there for the tiki. Firstly, the number minted, then the number graded in MS, catalog value in XF, catalog value in MS, just like we said before, and then the actual sales for, I took AU58 grade. Only for the 96 and 97s are there not really are there not confusion regarding the dates and the values. If we look, for instance, at the 95 date, the 95 tiki, in terms of grading figures, we will see that this coin in MS is exceedingly rare, with only 22 coins graded. But the catalogs disagree, placing both the 94 and 92 dates above the 95 date. If we took the 92 date, for example, there are nearly 6 times more graded in MS condition than the 95 date. So the question is, why do the majority of catalogs state that the 92 date is more scarce and valuable than the 95 date? It can't be. That was just an observation for the tiki. Let's look at the sixpences. Personally, I never would have thought that the 93, 94, and 95 dates are so very rare. All these dates, and I'm talking about the combined pop reports of both PCGS and NGC, have at less than 30 coins graded in MS. The sixpence of 95 in MS condition is scarcer than the fine beer Burgers Pond. I would have never thought that. A shilling in MS condition, the 93, 94, and 95 are also very scarce, with the 93 date exceedingly rare, sharing the top position of all ZAR coins with a half pond of that year. There's no coin scarcer than those 2 coins, any ZAR coin in MS, than the 93 shilling and the half pond. But the majority of catalogs does not agree that the date, and we're talking about 96 now, is very scarce. They give it the third last position. In actual fact, the 96 shilling in MS constitutes less than 0.7% of all shillings graded. With only 18 graded, it is a very rare coin. So don't overlook the 96 shilling and think, and they are common coins. They are really common coins, but in mint state, they're exceedingly rare. That's what the pop reports tells us. If we go to the 2 shillings, for example, the mintage figure shows twice as many 93 shillings were minted as those of 92. But the grading figure shows exactly the opposite. Exactly the opposite than the mintage figures. So we already talked about the big question mark regarding mintage figures of certain ZAR coins. And this just confirms this. The 92 date, we're talking about the 2 shilling, even in MS, is fairly common. And it's interesting to note that one of the catalogs rates this the most valuable year, placing the 93 date on par with the common 97 date. I don't know how this is possible. The 93 2 shilling in MS is actually the third scarcest coin of all ZAR coins in MS, with only 6 coins graded. But the catalog maintains that it's just as scarce as the 97 date, right at the bottom. Then on the other side, it's not really surprising that no 93 and 95 2 shillings have been graded in superior mint state condition, but what is unexpected is neither has the very common 1897 date. So the 97 2 shilling is a common coin. It's even very common in mint state, but try to find one in MS64 plus, you will never find that they don't exist. So you must even look out for common coins in mint state, in higher mint state in some instances, and I hope the book show this to readers. Now we go to the half crown. In mint state, the 93, 94, and 95 dates are very rare, with only 12, 14, and 13 coins graded, each constituting less than 1% of the total half crowns graded. The 96 and 92 dates are common, with the 97 date being very common. Interesting enough, more than 25% of all 92 half crowns graded receive the MS grade. So 1 in every 4 half crowns that are sent for grading at those companies receive the MS grade. So they're not scarce. Let's look at the crown, the 5 shilling piece. If we look at the population report, there's not much difference in the number graded for the single shaft versus the double shaft. And it may come as a shock to learn that there's actually more single shafts graded than double shafts. But in mint state, the double shaft is indeed scarcer, I think, with 86 coins versus 103 single shafts. And then 25% of the single shaft and 20% of the double shaft coins were all graded mint state. So again, between 1 in 5 and 1 in 4 crowns sent for grading to these companies come back with the MS grade. So compared, in my view, with other ZAR dominations, the 5 shilling can definitely not be considered a scarce coin in graded form and not even in mint state condition. Let's look at the half pond. Both in XF and MS condition, the majority of catalogs consider the 92 date to be the second most valuable half-pound. It is actually a very common coin in graded form, with more than 42% of all 1892 half-pounder receiving a MS grade. In MS, all the other years can be considered scarce, with a 93 exceedingly rare, sharing the top position of all ZAR coins with a 93 shilling. I think I've referred to that. The pond. It would come, don't think it will come as a surprise to learn that in terms of mintage figures, the three scarcest ZAR coins are the overstamped 99 pond and the two varieties of the burgers pond. They are the scarcest ponder. But if one, however, looks at the number of ponder graded in MS, there are, however, some unexpected finds. For example, and I think I've mentioned this before, the 93, 95, and 96 ponder in MS are scarcer than the fine burgers pond, and the 94 and 97 ponder are scarcer than the felt pond. I never expected to find this. And still, some catalogs consider the 92 double shaft as a scarce and valuable coin, but it is actually a common coin. And 1 out of every 3 of the nearly 700 coins graded received the MS grade. That's for the 92. So these were some observations that I made regarding the different denominations. There's hopefully more in the book if you want to read the book. But I think these were the ones I wanted to bring to the fore. Anthony, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Pierre. Thank you. That's some very thought-provoking information you're parting to most of the viewers here. And it just goes to show that the quality of some ZAR coins, I mean, in high grades, is actually becoming more and more difficult to obtain, especially in the in-between years, the 93, 94, 95, etc.
If you're a collector of, let's say there are, I don't know how many big collectors there are of ZAR coins, but let's say there are 400 or 500 in the world. In many instances, only 13 or 14 or 15 of these collectors will ever be able to complete a ZAR collection, and in some cases only four collectors worldwide would be able to complete collection in MS condition.
Yes, correct. And I see you had a list in terms of, I wouldn't call it rarity, but in terms of like the scarcity of the coins, you numbered them 1 to 10. You had a scale?
Yeah, I numbered the coins for the ponder in scarcity, yes, from number 1, to the last one. But that was for the number minted, the number graded, and not the actual the grades that they received. But it's in the book. I think it was actually on the last addendum, page 61 or 62.
Correct. That was on page 61.
Yeah.
And it's quite interesting facts there that your sort of your burger ponder is always on the top. Okay, but in terms of your research, all right, and I'm gonna throw you a curveball here, and just for the viewers, all right, if you had to pick one coin out of your entire research, be it a copper coin or a silver coin or a gold coin, which would you rate as the top coin for any collector to obtain in MS? Your ZAR coins.
Yeah, I think in the book I made an example. I gave an example where I say that even if the 95 tikkie is 5 times scarcer than the veldpond in MS, I would rather own a veldpond, and there are many people who would rather own a veldpond. There would be collectors of militaria, there would be collectors of sovereign specimens or gold coins. So there are probably more takers of veldponder, collectors of veldponder, than those of the humble tikkie. But in terms of finding a tikkie in MS, you're going to search 5 times longer and harder to find one. But if I could choose a coin that I would like to own, I would like to own the single 9.
I
I don't know what about you.
I think that would be everyone's dream, but
Yeah.
it's only going to be one person's dream.
Yeah.
Because only you can own it.
Yeah.
Pierre, I mean, it's a brilliant publication. It's taken you a lot of time to get this out. You've done it in hardcover. It's an exceptional book. Tell me, how can the people contact you if they want to get a copy? I mean, it's for nothing if I look at the price, 140 Rand for a hardcover. And for the amount of information that's in there, it's invaluable. So how can the people get a hold of a copy of the book, and what would it cost them to get it shipped to them directly?
Anthony, yes, the cost of the book is 140 Rand, and the courier fee would be to any metropolitan area like Durban or Cape Town or larger towns, it would be 100 Rand. But unfortunately, to little towns, it would be 180 Rand. So if anybody wants more info on the book, they can just email me at pierre@nortje.info. It's very easy. pierre@nortje.info.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Or maybe they can contact you and you can provide my contact details.
Sure, that's an option. Pierre, how many copies do you have printed?
I printed 100 copies, and then a friend asked me to put an ad on his Facebook page. I've never done that before, and I sold 20 in one day. So on Bidderbuy, I think I sold 30, so I've got 50 left.
So you have limited stock left. Are you intending printing more, or if they run out?
If they run out, I will print more, but I don't know, I don't think I will sell more than another 50, 60, but you never know. I don't know how many people listening to this, and if they're going to stream it on some other internet site. So maybe, but I will print more if there's a need for more. Yes. Okay,
100%. Pierre, as I stated in the inception, that you're no stranger to writing numismatic literature. You've done a fantastic job with the paper that you did on the Griqua town coinage, or the research into the Griqua. So much so that you was honored with a merit award for that by the National Numismatic Society. Are there plans for any further research books regarding our wonderful numismatic hobby? I mean, I threw that at Francois Milan, and you know, I'm going to throw you the same question as well.
Well, I wrote the book during the lockdown period, and now that things are almost back to normal, my available free time is almost non-existent. But I think my next project, and I think I've talked on this with you, is I want to do a study on past South African numismatic publications and providing a source on who said what when. For instance, say you are interested in the Griqua coinage or the patterns of 1965 for the second decimal series. I would like to provide a list of past sources that wrote about the subject with a brief summary of each. You know, many collectors rely on the internet for information, but it is my belief that past books and publications have much more information to reveal, and the new generation of collectors are unaware of this. They may never even know that such and such a publication even exists, with information provided on a subject he or she is very interested in. So there's a word for a publication like that, but that's what I want to do. I want to go through my big a book collection, and people like you and Francois, I know, has got much more than I am, and then just go through them and tell people, if you're interested on a certain subject, go to page 4 in that publication in 1974. There was something written about it, if you understand what I'm saying.
No, 100%. No, I don't own a huge library. My library is Francois Milan. Anything that I need, I go to him. So he's my library. And I'm sure that Francois will be quite excited about this. And there's something that we've been talking about of resurrecting. And hopefully once I have a chat to him and get some clarity on where we want to, I think we can engage with you as well to work towards a similar line.
That would be fantastic. I'm more than willing.
100%. Before you go, I don't know if anybody's got any questions for you, but I know Glenn wants to say something. Glenn?
Good. There we go. Thank you.
Sorry, Glenn,
research.
Mute.
You getting me there?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay. If I think back a couple of years ago to when Pierre Nortje got that award from the National Numismatic Society, it was for research and work that he had done in his book as well. I think what he has done here, he's taken the bull by the horns and done a wonderful thing. And anyone who's got the time and the patience to have gone through all this and gone through all the POP reports and seen where it is, I think it's great. And all I can say to you is, Pierre, very, very well done. Now, I know for the fact that there'll be a lot of people up in Joburg area that will be looking for your book. So I think I will email you on Monday, but in the meantime, if I can ask you, please, Pierre, I would like to take 10 of those books. So if you can put 10 aside for me, I'll confirm all the details for you on Monday, and we'll have at least some stock up here in Joburg that we can distribute amongst the people. Thank you. Thanks, Anthony.
Thank you, Glenn. And I will include a lekker bottle of white wine from the Western Cape for you.
Thank you. Thank you, Pierre. That's great. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Pierre, it's fantastic. I mean, this is, we're using the technology to reach the numismatic community. Like we said, we want to take this to greater heights. Lockdown has opened the eyes of many people, be it in the corporate sector, which I'm also in, and we're finding that this is becoming the way of life. That communication now, we've got to start looking at technology. I've always been a fan of promoting South African numismatics. I'm looking at ways of getting literature preserved. Michael Laidlaw has done a fantastic job as well with his website and scanning and documents and old journals, etc., books without copyright, and putting them up so people can download them. Where I'm getting with this is that we will have sort of structured live meetings like this from time to time, probably every 2 months, with a structured talk. We intend to do regular interviews with people where it will be just about 2 or 3 people, record it, make it available on YouTube, and send a link out to everyone. Glenn would be part of this process because all these ideas we've been talking between myself, Glenn, Professor Francois Milan for many years, and including the late Peter Wilson. Some of it has come to fruit, and we hope that we can use this technology to reach the masses. You know, once we start publishing stuff on YouTube and making the links available to everyone, you know, if I just called Shane with Glenn, have an interview with him, get some information pertinent to South African numismatics, products, etc., we publish it so everyone is aware of it. You know, Glenn from time to time will have meetings about what is happening in South African numismatics, SAN, the dealers, the shows. We can publish that. We speak to Francois Milan, which I've spoken to already. We're working on another talk in about 2 to 3 months' time. The next talk is going to be very, very interesting. Hopefully by then I'll have my logistics sorted out. I'm actually using an iPad to talk to you guys, and it was buffering with so many people joining. So next meeting, I'll have a proper hardware device that I will use with much capacity, that I won't have this issue. But the next meeting is going to be very interesting. And another person that has gone through great lengths in producing a book, and that is Everhard Vissers. And he will be talking to us about his book called Kruger's Bluebacks. And he's going to talk predominantly on the government's nota of the ZAR. So I think we've done a great job in lockdown. We've had 3 meetings. We've reached out to the community. People have not lost that appetite for South African numismatics. And I think that's what we need to do. The people that can drive this, the Glens, the Milans, the Laidlaws, yourself, Pierre, myself, and there's quite a few other people on this forum. You know, we need to drive it and make sure that we stimulate South African numismatics. We've had a bad patch with the Mandela coins, and we know what that has done to South African numismatics. We need to go past that. We need to start instilling this confidence back into the collectors, to go back to classical numismatics, to study, to research, and to understand your hobby. And that's what it's all about. Glenn,
Absolutely.
Is there any other words from you that you would like to part to everyone?
Well, I think just in closing, I think we just all have to say a very big thank you to Anthony. Anthony has initiated all these meetings up to now, and I just hope he doesn't stop. This is the best way that I've been able to talk to people from all over the country. Although we can have meetings here of the National Numismatic Society in Joburg, and the guys can meet in Durban. There's not much happening in Cape Town at the moment, I know that. But as soon as we are able to travel freely, and it's not all that easy at the moment, but when I come down to Cape Town next time, I'm going to be looking up a couple of guys in Cape Town. I'm going to go talk to Pierre. There are a couple of guys in Cape Town that we need to talk about. I would like them to re-establish a numismatic society down in Cape Town. I think there's a dire need for it. I think we have to have some organized numismatics in Cape Town. Natalie Jaffe doesn't want to hand over the reins as yet, but Natalie's also getting on, and she hasn't got the energy that she might have had years ago. So Pierre, I'd like to talk to you and a couple of the other guys down there, and that we get a numismatic society of note formed down in the Western Cape. I think it would be a great thing. It'll make everything stronger all around. But I think just to come back to Anthony, thank you for organizing this meeting. We're able to speak to someone. I mean, we've got Dr. Morgan Carroll who's sitting in Vietnam listening to us. I think it's brilliant. Thank you, guys. Thanks very much for attending. And Anthony, thank you to you.
So before we terminate, I just want to give 1 or 2 people an opportunity. Francois Milan, how are you doing, sir?
It's actually going very well, Anthony, and thank you very much for organizing this. Of course, if we've got a very nice coin meeting, then of course it goes better. So thank you to you. It's actually going very well. So thanks for arranging all of this. And my congratulations to Pierre for producing this booklet. Of course, I'm a big collector of numismatic literature, so it was an absolute pleasure to actually get this booklet and actually add it to my collection. So congratulations, Pierre. Well done, and hopefully you're going to write us some more literature.
Thanks, Francois. And I will keep in touch with you as to the plans for going forward, because without you, Glenn, and a few other people, this won't be possible. So I'm looking forward to working with you guys and Pierre on board now as well. So I want to give Professor Michael Laidlaw, if his technology issues are sorted out, if he wants to say something. Professor Laidlaw, you still down? Okay, I see that thumbs. But in saying so, I will just say a few words on Michael. Michael is the president of the Pietermaritzburg Coin Club, an up-and-coming, thriving club. And he's doing a fantastic job there in leading his members. And if you haven't seen his website, I would encourage you to go to it and have a look at the tremendous amount of work that he's done. SouthAfricanMedals.com, www.southafricanmedals.com. Have a look at the amount of work that he has put into documenting medals pertinent to South Africa. Fantastic job. Thanks, Michael. And Michael was also bestowed with an honor for initiating that and coming up with the website. I'm going to go to Dr. Morgan Carroll on the far end of the world. And welcome, Dr. Morgan Carroll, and to your newly elected president. And from everybody in South Africa, our condolences to the Vietnam Numismatic Society on the loss of your president. I think it was a month or two ago. So please convey our condolences, but welcome to the newly elected president, Viet, and yourself. Would you just like to tell us from your perspective? I know you have 2 projects on the go. One is your catalog that, your coin catalog that would come out, and the other one that you're working very rapidly with is, and I'm waiting with bated breath, is your token catalog.
Thank you, Anthony, and for all those that are participating, it's a privilege to be part of this dial-in. Mr. Viet is the newly elected Numismatic Vietnam Club chairman, and we're in the process of printing a couple more of those magazines, and we will be doing it in English, and we'll distribute those to those participants that have been on this web page. The token catalog will be printed in October, and it'll be shipped from Vietnam. It's much cheaper here. It's probably going to be about 600 pages or so. It's in hardcover. It's A4 size. We put it in bigger print so that Prof. Laidlow can read it. It's color, and there's some great information in there. We're all getting on in age. I can see Francois Milan is also wearing spectacles. So the coin catalog, the third one with Pierre's new information, I have to go back to some mathematical equations and work out how to best get a avid quote to suit the price range. And it's always good to hear from Glenn on the other side. I can say that numismatics in Vietnam has taken a great step forward, and it was nice, and I'd like to thank everybody for allowing Mr. Viet to participate. He's just wanted to review how it actually works, and we'll be doing similar kind of forum for the numismatics in Vietnam. So thank you very much.
Thank you for that information, Morgan. And again, any bit of information we get, we want to pass on to the greater numismatic community. So all of you guys are doing a fantastic job. I mean, all these are self-initiated projects that you've taken on with catalogs, etc. And you know, we can only go from strength to strength. Shane Kennedy, I don't know if he's still on, but thank you very much for gracing us with your presence and for parting with us some valuable information as to the South African Mint and where we're going to. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you, pleasure. Thank you very much, Anthony.
And we look forward to working with you as well, and joining further meetings so that we can pass on all the important information to our collectors.
Thank you very much.
Right. So guys, that's it from my side. Thank you again for joining Coin Talk. We look forward to the next one. Pierre, thank you very much. It's been a great pleasure. A wonderful topic that you've spoken on, and I think it's close to many people's heart. So from my side, all I can say is have a wonderful Saturday afternoon. And now with the Liberty Liquors open, I'm sure that you all are well stocked up with your favorite beverage, so you can go and sit and chill. From my side, happy collecting, guys. Till next time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everybody. Bye.